Hello, I'm Thomas Carruthers.
And I'm Rhian Holmes.
And today is our fourth? Why do I never get it up? No, you can insert your own jokes at your own pace. I'm not bothering. Panic Room is his fourth. Well, no, it's not his fifth film. We didn't do Alien 3 because it was famously a huge disaster. Alien 3, and also I don't want to do Alien 3 before Alien and Aliens.
True.
Two genuinely excellent films.
I was going to say, it hasn't stopped you from doing disaster films before.
Has it? I think it has. What bad movies? I don't think we've ever done a bad movie. We did Indecent Proposal very early on for no explicable reason. Which was the biggest Tom's Big Question of all time. Would you sell yourself to Robert Redford for $1 million with your partner? Do you know the plot of Indecent Proposal?
I do now. The sounds of it.
Demi Moore and Woody Harrelson are struggling. He's an architect. She's a Don Vivant, and basically they're in Vegas and they're like, we're gonna get loads of money, and then they don't get loads of money, and Robert Redford's like, okay, I'm a millionaire. I am a creep. Well, no, I'm not a creep. Well, no, what I'm about to say is very creepy, but I'm Robert Redford in a suit and I'm as charming as all hell. So it doesn't really matter. And he basically offers $1 million for a night with Demi Moore. And
so Woody Harrelson wouldn't be there.
Oh no, it would be on his yacht.
Damn.
And it's not just a night; it's an intimate night. Yeah. I guess that requires a lot of open communication. It does, and that's the interesting part of the movie. And then she has sex with him, and then it's like, oh, then they have an argument because it's like, was it good? And it's like, yeah, was it good? He throws his. There's a very stark moment where he throws a whole bottle of red wine against a fridge. I can't remember why. Indecent Proposal is not really a movie I return to often. A movie I do return to often is The Shawshank Redemption. But today we're talking about Panic Room. Very good, yes. No, I do return to Panic Room a lot.
4,200 square feet, 4 floors.
Hardwood floors throughout, as many as 6 working fireplaces.
Oh my God, it's huge.
Yes, I don't know if you have live-in help.
No, it's just the two of us. Huh, that's strange. What? Is this room smaller than it should be?
You're the first person to notice. No one from our office had the slightest idea. It's called a panic room.
What?
A safe room. Castle keep in medieval times. Poured concrete walls, buried phone line not connected to the house's main line. You have your own ventilation system and a bank of surveillance monitors that covers nearly every corner of the house.
What's to keep someone from prying open the door?
Steel. Very thick steel.
My room. Definitely my room.
It's not lesser Fincher. It's not one of my. It's. I'll have to do a complete ranking come the end of this series, but it's probably lower. It's down. The recent rewatch of The Game probably put it above Panic Room, but it's not to say that Panic Room isn't an absolutely excellent, astoundingly well made, just pitch perfect thriller.
Tell me about it. What's going on? People in the house.
Take what you want and get out of my house! What we want is in that room.
Rhian, I
True.
believe this was your first time with Panic Room.
It was, yeah. And I'd say I agree based on the Fincher films that I've seen thus far.
Mm.
It's not a main player, but it plays well.
Very good. Well, yeah,
Sports metaphors.
it was always, it's what a touchdown. You hit that home run out of the park.
What is he doing?
They're locking us in.
Bull Durham. I want to do Bull Durham. I love Bull Durham. Just Kevin Costner, Susan Sarandon, Tim Robbins. Everybody's having sex in the summer and they're all playing baseball. Lovely film. When a woman loves a man, he does what she can do. It's a great movie where Susan Sarandon turns reading poetry. She lies to the men she's having sex with and says that that's foreplay and it's turning her on, when really she just wants an intellectual conversation. She's Annie in Bull Durham.
Wow.
Gotta love Susan. I love Susan Sarandon.
We need a tangent tally in the corner.
We've yet to mention the words. No, I've said Panic Room. That joke doesn't work. Panic Room. You talk about high concept. David Cope, or Coep, I've never known how to pronounce it. Jurassic Park writer, and Mission Impossible first movie screenplay writer. It's just they buy this screenplay for $4 million, which was a record at the time. And I get it. It's just an incredible, just a great idea. Great screenplay as well. It's just ingenious. People come to rob your house, so you go to your panic room. But what they want's in your panic room. That's all you need. And obviously, we've seen lots of times where a great idea like that then comes to nothing in a shitty movie. But this is one of those great times where it doesn't come to nothing, and it's just terrific. So you say you enjoyed it?
I did, yeah. It was very, very good pacing, I thought.
Flies by. It really does.
Yeah.
So now it's a nice tight hour 50, which is really, and then it does a long hiatus, and it's Zodiac time, which is obviously an epic. Which
is this Fincher's shortest film?
Fight Club and 7 above 2 hours 10. I think it might be. I can't remember. If we're ignoring Alien 3, let's double check. But I think so. Alien 3 that's an hour 54, so it was even shorter than Alien 3. Because Social Network's 2 hours. That's a nice tight 2. Gone Girl, Dragon Tattoo. Yeah, they're all 2.5 hours. Yeah, it's his shortest film.
Oh.
And which I think is, and obviously Benjamin Button is its own epic. And then Mank was 2 hours 10. The Game, what's The Game? I think that's another 2 hour 10. But I'm saying all this, and they all fly by for me, I guess. Yeah, that's another 2 hour 10. He sits very well in the 2 hour 10 range.
He does.
It just flies by. It's just a great, great thriller, incredibly well made. Let's do YouTube comments, because a lot of people very much enjoy Panic Room. Why do 2 people need all of that space?
It's the question we're all asking, really.
I think it's more so just a fuck you to the husband. It's like,
yeah, I mean,
okay.
she says, Kristen Stewart says herself, Dad's rich, Mum's just angry.
Yeah, and the bad realtor woman at the beginning, he can afford it. This movie was at the top of the charts the day I was born. Don't think I've ever heard it said that way.
Top of the charts.
Pop Pickers, the theme from Panic Room. First watched this on a plane from London to Pakistan in December 2002. Kiss. I just like, these are the sort of comments where I pick up and go, who's, and then it gets 5 likes. It's like, yeah, okay. It's like a
Who's
glimpse.
that for?
Yeah, who's it for? But also, it's this odd glimpse into somebody's entire world.
But it's barely an anecdote because
It's not an
you
anecdote.
don't care why. Like,
Yeah. And then it starts to comment, why are you moving to Pakistan in 2002? There's no preamble here, really. It's straight into 10-minute stretch. I've got some good nominations. The Getting In.
yes.
Getting in the room.
Yeah.
I mean, all the preamble is great. I mean, it's watchable. It's very tight. It's very nice. I love Ian Buchanan, who I follow on Instagram, who is a Twin Peaks guy, Dick, and he's great in Twin Peaks. Yeah. You're not a Twin Peaks person, are you, Rhian?
No, as we've established, it's you and one other person watches Twin Peaks.
And that other person is David Lynch. No. The gas
Yes.
sequence. It's very, I'm just going to keep saying the same things. It's very, very well made and well structured. And they are so clear definitions. Usually we get into murky territory with these sort of 10-minute stretches and best single minutes, but it's so clear here. It's the get in, it's the gas, it's killing Junior and Stephen arriving, it's the fake Stephen reveal where he's dressed up like Stephen. We're going to pause. There's a bang at the door.
Ooh.
There's a real Panic Room situation there.
I know. Don't worry, I filled the whole time with jokes. You don't even have to edit anything out.
Hi guys, welcome to my hall. Welcome to my hall. Oh, look at all these. Oh, just love movies.
Is it more Blu-rays?
It's so many Blu-rays. Robert Altman, Coppola, more Robert Altman, more Coppola. Oh, and this beautiful Criterion Collection release of Mishima, A Life in 4 Chapters, directed by Paul Schrader. I'm single, and ladies, any Paul Schrader fans? Oh my God, it's got that Cold Day in the Park on double disc Blu-ray. We can read the booklet afterwards. Oh my God. The Cotton Club. That's not even a good Francis Ford Coppola movie, but he's watching all of his movies after The Godfather for an article. That's so interesting. Why is he watching bad movies to write articles about? Oh, it's so interesting. Panic Room.
Yes.
Diabetes. That's a good 10-minute stretch. I didn't do any research. Whether this is a good diabetes, there's no good no, not hers, but a good diabetes representation.
I think it is. I've met a few diabetics.
I have too. Yes, I should ask them about Panic Room.
And I think hypos can get they have varying degrees of severity. I like a little watch. That's quite cool, guy.
That is good. And also, I love that there's not a really awkward line early on where she's like, what do you think of this house? Do you want to move in here? Well, yeah, I think I would like to move in here. After all, I'm a teenager who's diabetic and I need a lot of space. It's just a really good little glimpse at the fridge. And you're like, why does she have a fridge next to her bed? Why is there orange juice? Oh, look at those insulins. And it's like, great. And then throughout, especially at I think it's the SOS sequence where Jodie's looking at the watch and she's like, shit. And then obviously, great. I didn't want to tell you now. What didn't you want to tell me? I'm dizzy and I'm hungry. Great stuff.
Imagine if we didn't have any of that exposition and it was just like, I'm dizzy and hungry. No!
Yeah, I just thought it was a Fitbit. Let's talk about Kristen Stewart.
Please, let's. Honestly.
She's excellent.
She is. We knew this. but she got such a bad rap after Twilight, and people assumed that she couldn't act. When, I mean, just look at this.
This is great, but also when people talk about her being good now, they're talking about like Personal Shopper and like Adventureland. I love Adventureland. Adventureland is really, I think, one of the most underrated coming of age films of the modern era. Sorry, Rhian, it's better than Perks Being a Wallflower. But also, I think she is doing the same thing that she does in Twilight. That sort of, no, I don't want to say mopey, but that sort of quiet, sort of
teenage brooding. But it works.
Yeah, it does work. Did you watch Happiest Season?
No.
It was fine. It passed an hour 50 last Christmas. Not even last Christmas. Not yet. No, not last month. The year before. Anyway, it doesn't matter. People, I hope, again, I may be dead in a year. And then suddenly, Curious Case of Benjamin Button will pop up and people will be like, oh.
He didn't age in reverse.
He
didn't age.
He just died. He didn't even get to swim the channel as an old woman. Future episode, everybody. Get excited. Because the kids do love Benjamin Button. I think that's one of my favorite running jokes, is me saying is like weird things coming up and me going, oh, the kids do love so and so. It came to a head in a theatre for kids, theatre and education performance, and we were doing it was about the future, and everyone was like, oh, let's use Daft Punk, and I was like, yeah, the kids love Daft Punk. and then I'm bad-mouthing people here, but the guy that was running it, he really wanted a modern pop song for the final dance party scene, and I just said, yeah, just put on Conga by Black Lace. You know, it's do do do, come on and do the conga. The kids will know it, and then we'll all conga on, and then it's an energetic, moving transition scene to scene. No, this was, let the record show, this was last year, so this was 2019.
Okay.
No, that's a lie. It was 2020. It was 2020. The modern song that he ended up picking was Boom Boom Pow. And so there's no, and also Boom Boom Pow, slow start. There's no, do, go on and do the conga. So I had to slowly walk on and go, gotta get that. Gotta get that.
Oh, no.
It was terrible.
The kids dig Black Eyed Peas.
The kids do love Black Eyed Peas. The kids, you know what the kids love? The original version of Let's Get It Started.
Oh my God. We don't speak of that.
Me and my sister do, and it's bad.
Panic room.
It's called a panic room.
What?
A safe room. A castle keep in medieval time.
I've read about these.
They're quite in vogue in high-end construction right now. One really can't be too careful about home invasion.
This is perfect. The alarm goes off in the middle of the night. What are you going to do? Call the police and wait till Tuesday? Traipse downstairs in your underthings to check it out? I think not.
Board concrete walls, buried phone line not connected to the house's main line. You can call the police, nobody can cut you off. You have your own ventilation system, a bank of surveillance monitors that covers nearly every corner of the house.
This whole thing makes me nervous. Why? Ever read any Poe? No, but I loved her last album. What's to keep somebody from prying open the door?
Steel. Thick steel. Very thick steel. Full battery backup. So even if the power's off, it's still functional. Panic room. That's another. I have a terrible history of scaring people in audiences. I remember scaring my granddad when he was quite ill at the time, and it was the Shoji Tabuchi show, and it was like a variety show, and I was playing a violinist, and
this was a big fictional thing I made up, and I was whatever years old, and I was hiding in a closet, and not like that, and I jumped out, and I knew where my granddad would be sitting, and I went, "Ha!" and it really scared him, and then another time, that was when I was a younger child. This was 2 years ago, and I was doing a presentation about civil rights, and we were talking about the 60s and how paranoia was, a big thing in the 60s. And so I planned a whole jump out and go, "Paranoia!" And I really scared the classmate who was in that chair, and she was unsettled for the rest of the performance. However, it has led to a great running joke between me and a friend, previous guest David Robinson, where if we want to scare somebody, we will go, "Paranoia."
No, I love how it's not even children that you're scaring. It's grown up.
It's a severely ill man dealing with the early stages of his dementia, and it's a woman who's just come to watch a simple show about civil rights. I am really hitting the bad notes of people. Panic Room. Where were we? Diabetes and the finale. And then the finale. You know who's great in this movie? Dwight Yoakam, country star, as Raoul. Everybody's great in this movie. I'm gonna set this off now. Do you know who Meg was originally going to be?
Oh, was it Nicole Kidman? Do my research.
Yes, it was. I think this has come up on the show before. I love Nicole Kidman. I really love Nicole Kidman. I've loved her ever since my mum said, it's a really good thriller, Dead Calm. And I was like, "Oh, this is great." And I was like, "Who's this beautiful Australian woman?" And then I watched Bewitched very young, and I was like, "This is so funny and wacky. Oh, they're in the TV show, but they're not in the TV show. Who's this goddess, Shirley MacLaine?" And that's where my love for Shirley MacLaine started, which actually will come up later in the show. Oddly enough. So basically, they get Nicole Kidman in. It's fully Nicole Kidman locked in. And she's hot off Moulin Rouge. And so the whole idea is that it's Hitchcockian, and that, not that Jodie Foster isn't beautiful, but obviously Nicole Kidman is one of the most beautiful women ever. And she's got that Grace Kelly, that Hitchcock, perfect model-esque, Rear Window. Lisa Carol Fremont. I always think of Grace Kelly in Rear Window. Full stop, I guess. But she's really got that pristine thing. And so it's going to be more of a Hitchcockian thriller. Then they start shooting and they realize, oh no, she can't be doing all this running about because she's got a knee injury from Moulin Rouge, doing all the bloody, the French were meant to die for love. What an intro. Talk about intros into a movie. Nicole Kidman in Moulin Rouge, different episode. But as yet unfilmed. Is this movie better with Nicole Kidman?
I would say no, on the basis of, Jodie Foster and Kristen Stewart look very similar. Like they look like they could be mother and daughter. That's
the second half of this, because they also recast the daughter. It was originally going to be Nicole Kidman and a young Hayden Panettiere. Do you remember her?
I do remember her. So,
and then, yeah, go on.
Did they release trailers of this?
No, God. Yes. This was like day one. They were like, shit, this knee injury is not good. Yeah. She can't do a Fincher 100-day shoot. I don't think we've really touched on this yet. Fincher is a massive shot guy. He will go for days, like 100-day shoots.
I think we did mention this with maybe Benjamin Button.
Look, the kids haven't heard this.
The kids have not heard this.
The kids haven't heard this. And the kids love Benjamin Button.
Yeah. The old kids.
The old kids. Funnily enough, previous guest David Robinson messaged me the other day and she was like, with a picture of Benjamin Button. She didn't know I was doing these episodes at all. And she messaged me saying, why is his head so big? And I said, have you not seen the movie? Do you not? It's like, and then I watched Benjamin Button. I was like, oh yeah, his head is rather large. His head is larger. It's like the opposite of Beetlejuice when his head shrinks at the end. Great
Just
movie,
a big
Beetlejuice.
old watermelon.
I'll gladly go for. I think it's just a different movie. I think they lean more into the realism here.
Yes, definitely.
And I think it works very, very well. Fincher and Foster had been trying to make a movie for years because she was originally Mank, the movie that he made in 2020, was originally going to be his project after The Game, I believe, before Fight Club. And it was going to be Spacey as Herman J. Mankiewicz, who they just worked with in Seven. And he's great in Seven. He's great, detective! I think you're looking for me. Obviously what we know now makes things weirder, but there's no doubt he's an incredible actor. It's a shame. And if I was being completely honest with myself, he probably is still in my top 10, but it's just not something you say.
So we're going to cut that part out.
No, because the 7 episode will have already come out, and I will have already talked, I have no doubt, for 20 minutes about how good. I'll have done my disclaimer at the top of that one, and then gone on to talk about how incredible Kevin Spacey is in 7.
I'm already bracing for you showing me that bloody Christmas Eve video again when we eventually reunite in person. I'm not happy about it.
Well, no, that's not the best one. The Christmas Eve one's not the best one. The best one is, and it's Christmas Day. He puts them out on Christmas Day. Let's get things straight. Also, no, the best. This is a terrible. The best Kevin Spacey video is him at the John Lennon tribute, fresh off 9/11, and he gives the incredible, this powerful prophet of peace. This powerful prophet of peace. And it means that everybody has to do their part, and that means your host. And he jumps and lands in time with Mind Games starting, and then he sings all of Mind Games rather well.
I wish
Panic
I had.
Room. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, it's fine. I brought this on myself. Panic Room.
Tom's big question: what's your favourite niche video I've shown you? Is it that? Is it Demi Moore as a computer in the scene in Disclosure?
That is it.
Which I have right here.
God.
Sex is power. What if men got harassed? What if a man got harassed? These are some of the chapter titles in Disclosure. Oh, these aren't funny. I thought they'd be funny. Here's one.
What are we doing? What are we doing right now?
Racing Against Deletion. Which sounds like a 90s computer thriller, which is what Disclosure is. And people forget. They think it's like this sexy movie, and they're like, oh, yeah, the one where like Demi Moore and Michael Douglas are like working together, and it's like a thriller. It's like, yeah. And then it turns into that computer espionage movie. Panic Room. Rhian, what are your nominations for 10 Minute Stretch?
I also had the break in to the Panic Room, or the break into going to the Panic Room and getting the lay of the land, realizing the phone's not hooked up and everything. It sets the tone, and it's the first big conflict that we see. I also liked the old switcheroo, as I wrote in my notes, where they have that little struggle, and then Jodie ends up on the outside and Bernard's on the inside. Always
looking in. Yes, for me, that's a great switcheroo. However, I think the better switcheroo is Raoul pretending to be Stephen. That's just an. I forgot about that, and when I was watching it this morning, and I was like, and he looked over at the bed, and I thought, oh yeah, oh no. It was, my sister is very famous. She's like, I can guess movies. and we watched Silence of the Lambs, and I won't talk about which scene because you've not seen Silence of the Lambs yet. But there's a certain scene near the end, and my sister didn't guess it, and she went, "Oh no, oh no, oh no," very loudly, and God, Silence of the Lambs. Jodie, another great Jodie movie. Still, yeah, Silence is her best. I'm not going to make a bullshit conversation about whether this is her best movie because it's not. Jodie wins 2 back-to-back Oscars for The Accused and Silence of the Lambs. A real feat. I don't know. I know Hanks did it for Philadelphia and Forrest Gump back-to-back, but I don't know who else has done off the top of my head. Off the dome. If we were to pick a best 10-minute stretch, full stop, I think it's that Getting In. Oh, all the gas.
It's difficult.
Great
because,
film.
Yeah, the thing is, it's so fluid as well, and there's not really a need for like segmented scenes. Yeah,
we can say like Gas, Diabetes, Finale, but finale if we're being exotic, but it is one big beast, and it flows so well. It's not like a more of an episodic feature. Tom's weirdly specific favorite part of the film. I love the real estate lady shouting at Kristen Stewart, "Get off the bike!"
I know, she's such a bitch. Also, I thought she was like a friend and not another realtor.
Yeah.
And so I was like, why are you friends with this woman?
Well, she might be, like the old John Mulaney sketch where realtors become your friends. This could be a nursery.
The little fire garbage can.
A little room. That was when I knew I loved John Mulaney. Was the line in that real estate monologue where he says, and these 2 real estate people meet each other, and it's like they used to be in the Eagles together. And I was like, I understand that joke and that niche reference so wholeheartedly. I don't want to say that John Mulaney's stealing my stick, but he's that's my shtick, is doing niche references.
But the thing with John Mulaney is he knows how to pepper in niche references and rely on people still laughing, even if they don't fully understand. They're like, I like his delivery.
That's true. Yeah, I bet you laughed at his fugitive reference. But he took, yeah. But then I can't even say Provasic.
You switched the samples.
Dr. Richard Kimball is very anxious. Everybody, Dr. Richard. What's a better movie where? What's the best movie where Harrison Ford plays a Dr. Richard? Is it?
You're having a funny 5 minutes today, aren't you?
It's probably that line of coke I blew before sitting down. Let the record show that I always do with lines of coke. That's a fun thing to say at like Christmas and family parties when you're like, I don't know, go to the toilet or whatever, or time passes and then you're more upbeat, and it's actually because you're depressed and you're just trying to, make yourself happy. But just say, oh, you're happy. And it's like, yeah, I just did some coke in the bathroom. It's just a great joke. And then your sister chokes on a drink and goes,
I'll have to workshop that one next year.
Yeah, I just blew some coke in the... What did you say, Rhian? Rhian, please, don't say that.
I'm already the loose cannon on Christmas. I don't need my antics.
Tom's Willer's specific favourite of the past film. The fridge glimpse. The gas. Open it some more. Forrest Whitaker's wonderful in this film. He's obviously the heart. He's, the heart and soul. It's that classic thing of like, oh, just let him get away. He shouldn't get away, but let him get away.
It's weird because I kind of had a preconceived idea of how they were going to frame this film. And I didn't think there'd be so much focus on the robbers.
Oh, you thought it was going to be a full-blown in the panic room, really, really tight thriller.
Yeah, and I thought they would kind of have these images of these dark masked men, and we wouldn't really get to, see their perspective. So at first I was a bit like put off by it, because I thought this is a bit Home Alone-esque, like, and they're all yelling at each other, and there is the bit where then
there is the bit where Jodie Foster takes back the house and she smashes the mirror, and then she walks through the glass herself. And it's like, is she gonna like booby trap? Is she gonna booby trap the house?
Yeah, I thought when she put the lamp in Stephen's hands, I thought there was like a wire attached, or like she was gonna use the cord for them to trip over.
Plus, I like Stephen's setup at the end when he's got his lamp and he's tied his hands and he's like, "Move,
let it go."
He's not seeing a thing. He's not seeing a single thing. He may shoot his own daughter. Like, I don't know why they're worried about Stephen and his gun.
He's essentially a prop.
He's a warm prop.
He is the taped up photograph of a police officer in shop windows. Have you seen those?
Oh yes, I did see
like,
that. Yes, I did see that.
And stickers just to like ward off potential thieves.
And they start Michael Jackson, not moonwalking, but doom 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 doom. Oh, Michael. Drown Out. I love when they do the SOS and they're screaming. I mean, we've seen it a lot. It's just a great move. It's always effective. It's as I like to call it, the Titanic pullback shot.
Very aptly named as well.
Indeed.
Where'd you learn that, Titanic?
But also, I was thinking about this. There's no scene in Titanic where, I mean, they do the SOS, but they actually deleted most of the stuff with the telegrammers. And if you rewatch the Titanic episode, you'll find that was in my What's the Change. My What's the Change was just make it longer. Just put in all the deleted scenes. Put in all the deleted scenes apart from Kathy Bates going, "Hey, can I get a little bit more ice here?" And the iceberg going past her. That was a good cut. That may be the worst deleted scene of all time.
That is horrible.
Woof. I love Nicole Kidman's cameo as Stephen's wife on the phone.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
And I was like, oh, Nicole.
It did make me think when I saw Stephen, I was like, how has he managed to get not one, but two partners?
How? Yeah. I mean, well, but we know why.
Yeah,
because he's a pharmaceutical magnate. He may talk about The Fugitive. Maybe he's running the Provasic campaign.
Potentially. Silly question.
Potentially. I love the killing of Junior. It's just incredible. And then the Stephen reveal is also incredible. What are you looking at me like that for? And it's just that slow, but and he's there. And it's like, oh no. It's
All right.
Anybody else in the house? Central. I need a bus at 38 West 94th.
It's okay. Come on.
I want to see the palm of your hand. Do you hear me? Open your hands.
Here's a question. I don't know whether it's a question or a change. How did the police come back? Did the police come back because that guy just realizes that she is under attack? But also, what if she wasn't lying? And what if she was just a drunk divorcee? And the SWAT team burst in and she's just drinking more red wine and calling random people.
I mean, there's a lot of commotion. And I mean, there's several gunshots. right?
But there's rain.
You know what they say about rain? The loudest thing on earth.
Yeah, I guess once we're shooting guns, and but there's a shot earlier with when they shoot Raoul, when they shoot Junior.
Yeah, I don't know what the catalyst would have been.
Who knows? I love hitting Raoul over the head with a sledgehammer. I love how fucked up Raoul gets. Like, with his crushed hand.
See, that was my point of contention along the Home Alone theme. I mean, you hit someone in the head with a steel mallet, it's gonna crush their skull, surely. It's not just gonna like make them lose their balance and flip over the hand.
I mean, he
railing.
fully flips though. He's down there for a while.
But I just think like there would have been a bit more damage done. He would have been out for the count at least.
Yeah. Did it get him fully in the head though?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it does. I don't know why.
Just when I thought like we'd left the Wet Bandits thing behind when they shot Junior, comes back. I know, I get it, because it had to be that Jodie saves the day, and she's taken back her house and her family.
She doesn't save the day.
No, but she needed to have her own.
Okay, yeah. She needed, yeah.
In the spotlight, but a hammer.
Well, it's all she has. Why didn't we do that? Good question. I've got it down as a specific favourite part, but also good question. Why didn't you knock out the cameras? It's not like you were, sticking with the paper and trying that angle to try and get them out.
Yeah. But then how many are there?
3. Oh, cameras.
Yeah.
There are...
I know there's 3 people.
Good save, I thought, by Jodie. There are three things that I'll do. Should we go now, or do you want to know the 3 things? Hey. Hey. Because, good save. There are 3. What else could you say?
I don't know. 3 little words I'd like to say to you. So that's the thing, when you're engaged that much and you're seeing them think on their feet, it makes you start to think like, oh, what would I say?
I love movies. I love what would you do movies. Like,
yeah.
Buried, I mean, that's a really depressing one because that ends with him the box like breaking and him just dying. But Open Water is another depressing one. Like they both die as well. But it's just like, what would you do? Die Hard, Jaws, I guess.
Castaway. Yeah,
I mean, Castaway is the ultimate one. We're going to have another tangent now. All I want to say is, Helen Hunt. I don't want to say you're a bitch, Helen Hunt, but you weren't good. I'm
glad you brought it up because I've been dying to talk about it for a hot minute.
What then?
I was angry.
You should be.
From the moment that you had the transition and it cut to 4 years, I was like, there's no possible way that this can end well. Because I mean, it is an incredible reveal shot with because also it's one of those moments in movies where people faint all the time, but this is one where I'm like, oh no, she definitely would faint. I'll give her this. I'll give her this one. And the feint to reveal the baby in its high chair is an incredible shot from Zemeckis. But yeah, no, sorry, go on. And because if he's not dead, then he's got the insane psychological torment of assimilating back into normal life. I pondered, would he even be able to speak?
Well, as we know from the movie Nell, starring Jodie Foster, where she's born in the woods and she's made up her own language and she talks like this, and then she acclimatizes into real life. Just famously one of the worst movies ever. But I think Liam Neeson's like her carer or something. I think he'd acclimatise because he's talked with himself. I mean, obviously he has his suicide attempt, but I think he's. I mean, I always think that they would be. I always think that people would be fine if it's more than 5 years. Maybe. What's it called?
That's
Sure.
your cut-off. That's where you can't suspend your disbelief anymore.
He's all right. He's going to go off with that Elvis woman.
The fact that they teased us in with like the potential for Helen Hunt, you know, not
Helen
even
Hunt
leaving
can't
her.
leave the dentist.
Well, she can't like leave her life behind because she's got kids, but you know, accepting him in again, and they have the kiss, and then he drives away, and then he comes back, and then she's like, "I do actually have to go home now." What was that about? Why would you do that?
I can give her a kiss. I think, right, if you're the dentist, would you allow her at one kiss?
I'd bow out. If I was the dentist, I would bow out because she's always going to be thinking about him.
Yeah. Oh God.
I would take the kids. I'd find a yacht, and I just.
I'd find a FedEx plane and then Castaway 2. Castaway 2, he's on the island, and the whole time he's on the island, he doesn't have, oh, Helen Hunt's waiting for me. He's thinking, is Helen Hunt waiting for me, or is she with Tom Hanks? That's a movie I'd watch.
Yeah.
Rhian, do you have any specific favourite parts of Castaway?
What? What are we doing? Yes, I do. I liked Jodie's deadpan sob in the bath. I thought that's very human, and I know it's, you know, supposed to be like, oh, she's a broken woman, she's medicating, but she necked that wine like a champion.
She did, and I paused it, and it's Chateauneuf de Pave. Chateauneuf de Pave. Chateau. It's 14.5%, and it's more of a heavy-bodied one. I had a bottle of it for my birthday, and
of course you did.
Wow. Dangerous liaisons. Yes, that's good. I guess good on her, but also
good on Jodie, the actress.
I don't think she's chugging red wine. It's definitely coloured.
Well, just any liquid being able to just knock it back, I think it's quite a feat. All right.
Drinking liquid isn't an achievement.
Some people aren't that good at it. I've done enough down it challenges through lockdowns 1, 2, and 3, and I've not gained any kind of particular prowess. Anyway,
no, let's keep going with this tangent.
The SOS, where'd you learn that Titanic? And I like how it parallels with Burnham saying, I've only ever seen this done in movies, because it's like, oh, he's a human too. He's not some sensationalized like Man in the Mask. I like the Foster fake out where she's at the door talking to the policeman. And I loved the end where they say, open your palms, we need to see your palms, and you just see all the
Barabons
flying away because none of it was worth it in the end.
It's like Fargo. You did all that for a bit of money. And then she just goes to bed with Norm. And then they talk for 5 minutes about how money doesn't matter. And we've got a baby.
The equivalent of old Rose chucking the diamond of the sea.
That's my biggest change. If Forrest Whitaker went, and then there's a whole alternate ending where Jodie runs down and goes, no, don't do it. He goes, no, don't come any closer. You've seen the Titanic alternate ending, haven't you?
No.
What?
The only ending I knew was
No, there's a whole alternate ending. She's about to throw it in. Love it. It's talking with James Cameron's future wife and Rose's granddaughter, and they're like, yeah, okay, we'll have sex later. I mean, they don't say that, but they're like, yeah, okay. And that story worked us both up. Let's be honest. And he throws his cigar away, and then they see her, and they're like, no, 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 and they both run, and then she's like, don't come any closer, or I'll drop it, and then she basically describes why she's kept it the whole time. She's like, the hardest thing about being so poor was that I was so rich, but I did it on my own, and I didn't need Cal's money, and she does this entire terrible monologue. Bearded guy, anesthesia. That guy, she's an actress, she's a liar. That guy comes up and he's like, you had it the whole time? It's basically just saying out loud everything that you don't want them to say. And then Lovett goes, can I touch it just once? And he goes, yeah. And then she goes, eh, and she makes the exact same noise. She makes the exact same noise, and then Lovett just goes, and he just laughs in the sky. And she goes, nothing's, only love is priceless, Mr. Lovett. And then he turns to the daughter and goes, do you want to dance? And then there's a shooting star. It's an incredible alternate ending. I showed it to people after a screening of Titanic, and they thought it was an SNL sketch. They thought, how did they get?
Sounds like it.
How did they get the actors back for this comedy sketch? Needless to say, it's better with the ending that we get. Included. Soundtrack corner, there isn't one. Oscar travesty, I don't really think there's any travesty. Will's favourite building or set. Will's not here, but I'm pretty sure I know what he'd pick. Best single minute, Rhian.
The single, I say single, but the sweeping shot through the whole house. Specifically through, like, it goes through a handle of something.
Of the coffee, of the coffee handle.
Yeah. Love that.
It's in the film community, that's a big joke. People always say, like, oh yeah, we're going to go through the coffee handle. Because obviously he does a lot of CG in Fight Club. And then he's like in here, and then but in Fight Club he's like going through bins, and he's going through like bombs. And in here, it's in my changes. It's just like so lame. It's just like, we're into a torch. It's like, oh, come on, David. And then
I quite liked it, you know.
I know, but then his use of CG in his later movies is so great, and there's a whole essay on it online called David Fincher's Invisible CGI or something, because all those movies are filled with them, and apart from the Winklevoss twins, it's not really noticeable. There's so many little things. I love looking at your eyes as you slowly try to think, what's a Winklevoss cannibal? I can't think of a joke. I'm seeing the cogs turning.
Oh God, yeah. We can't talk about this. I'm hoping that he'll be arrested by the time that this comes out.
February next year. Who knows? 2022. But
they're both him as well, isn't it?
They're both him, yeah. They're both great.
Both him.
He's great in it. I'm 5'10" and there's two of me. He doesn't say that because 5'10's not impressive. What does he say?
6'2".
Can't be 6'2". I'm 6'2". There's not two of me.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's all right.
There's only one of you.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll tell you how good the CG and how invisible it is, because it never actually crossed my mind that it was. I was envisioning like a tiny like colonoscopy camera.
How good would David Fincher's colonoscopy be? How good would he would like direct it?
It'd curl around his heart and it'd be like beating.
I mean, there is not a colonoscopy, but in Uncut Gems, that opens with the colonoscopy. It does, it's great. Uncut Gems. Big thumbs up from Tom. Will described it as, that's my kind of stressful movie. I like it when it's stressful like that. And I agree with him. It's great. Panic Room. What do we do next on this little show? Best line. Oh, no, sorry, go on.
Best single minute. The phone search
Mm.
and how it's all silent until the falling of the lamp. I thought that was brilliant use of sound editing.
Yeah, the slow-mo, that slow-mo is incredible. And just that pop of the lamp as well, the flash with the framing of Whittaker's face. And then that pop, really good. Really good. Yeah. My nominations. The Realtors, very enjoyable. So I've got him here, yeah, and the police at the doorstep. He does a good job. That detective is, for the limited time he gets, he's interesting. You can see his working. Is Jodie Foster? Is Meg too good at acting?
Yeah. Yeah.
I always think I love thinking about this. This sort of stuff. Really good example that we didn't talk about really. But in Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, you can see Lisbeth playing Irene. It's like little bits of Lisbeth are there. It's not Rooney, because Rooney Mara can play anybody she wants. She did Carol and Lisbeth Salander in so many years. She can do anything.
It's the layers that the visible.
And she's clearly uncomfortable in the high heels and the great. I love the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I can't even speak. I love the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. That's a great bit where Jared Leto starts stuttering because they figured out the money, and he's like, "What?" And you go, "Yeah, in the." Very good. Best thing about said it. Best line. Shoot us a line, Becky.
I'm Raoul. In response to who the fuck is this guy? I'm Raoul.
I love that Raoul is so cool, and then you pull his mask off and he's Dwight Yoakam, and and then he comes all fumbly. I love cool people disintegrating and vice versa, disintegrating people becoming cool. I love transformations in movies. I very much enjoy.
I agree, but then that is why I would potentially change Jared Leto, because I feel like he was uncool the whole time.
Yeah, but
there's no disintegration.
Yeah, but he's supposed to be uncool, isn't he? He's some fucking grandson who wants to fleece his dead. I cared for him. I cleaned up his shit and I did all this and meh. That's literally the definition of Jared Leto's character. And I also love that exposition is in the background and we're watching Forest Whitaker get the gas. And it's that's just hearing that in the background. I do not need Jared Leto's Best Supporting Actor Oscar clip. I was his grandson. I deserve the body. We
don't care, Jared. Take your cornrows out, for Christ's sake.
And he won. He did win his Oscar for Best Supporting Actor for Dallas Buyers Club, which is a very good performance. Dallas Buyers Club, very not enjoyable film, but a fine film. Best line.
Get out of my house, you fuck. No, Mom. Get the fuck out of my house.
No, it's get out of my house, say fuck, and then she goes, fuck! And then, no, Mom, get the fuck out of my house. Get the fuck out of my house. Very good. I learned on Titanic. You don't look so good, man. And you, Officer Keeney, don't look so hard yourself. Again, a bit too witty. I don't, it's a touch too far.
I think there's some moments where it's good, like when at the beginning where she's trying her best to look tired and she's like, what time is it? And then when he tells her to blink, you kind of see the flash of should I do this past her eyes? You think,
oh yeah, that's good. Yeah.
And then she does it. It's because that's the moment when you are watching her eyes, with
really good eyes,
sexuality.
Jodie, as emphasized in Silence of the Lambs. Some incredible eye work. And the lights, they were screaming. Great. They were slaughtering the spring lamb. What's the change? What's the change? I've got here. I don't like the big credits. That's just like, what can I do? What can I do?
You like the big credits, but you liked the immigrant song.
Oh,
big
fuck yeah.
animated feature at the
That was
beginning of
incredible.
Dragon Tattoo.
That was incredible. How say wretched I am. When they used it in Thor Ragnarok, I said, no, you can't. I remember on my Pulp Fiction CD, there was a 20-minute interview at the end of it with Tarantino, and he talks for like 5 minutes about people using songs that were already used in movies. And he's like, when I watched Dirty Dancing, I was like, you can't use Be My Baby, because Be My Baby is Mean Streets. I see Harvey Keitel. I don't see Jennifer Grey, you know. And then, so I always think of that, and I think, no, you're goddamn right, you don't get to use. But then actually, Scorsese takes 2 Dirty Dancing songs back and uses them better, because he uses Love Is Strange in Casino, and then The Irishman he uses in The Still of the Night, I think 5 times, and it's heartbreaking every time. Irishman, great movie. Are you a Scorsese fan, Rhian?
Loved him in Shark Tale. Especially since he said on record that he only does serious films, and then he did Shark Tale, and that is my favourite movie fact of all time.
Yeah, but like anything can be a serious film. You can take any film seriously. It doesn't need to be a cancer drama to be a serious film. After
That's
Hours.
very true.
After Hours is one of my favourite comedies ever, and that's Scorsese. There you go. Everybody.
Find the deepest, darkest hole in the ocean, and when you found it, dig deeper and put him in it.
Do you think Shark Tale will hold up?
Oh yeah, I think it has.
I saw an image. It was like a meme, and it was like an image, just a screenshot from Shark Tale, and I thought, Jesus Christ, that looks terrible. Just like Will Smith's fish looks god awful at the car wash.
Panic Room.
Yes, Shark Tale. What's the change? I have that. I have the CGI. Yeah, some of the CGI, not all of the CGI. Right. I know that she has like scalding on her hand when she looks at the CCTV. There's no way that she doesn't have full fucking Two-Face burns when she. How deep is her hand in that vent? She is deeper in that vent than bloody John McClane in Die Hard. She is deep in that vent with that oven, with that barbecue starter. I know there's a real name for them. Barbecue starter.
It's a lighter, isn't it?
The lighter, yeah. I have never smoked, as you can tell. But
you don't like cigarettes with that.
Say it again.
I would hope that you don't like cigarettes with something like that.
That would be cool. That would be. I think I've seen that meme. It's like, this guy's. I've just asked this guy for a lighter, and he's brought out this. She's fully like burning her, losing her hand.
Yeah.
And then also the CGI fired. I don't think looks great.
Yeah.
I think it looks great in some shots, but also big Jodie, what you doing when she goes to get her diabetes stuff and she's like checking inside the kit? You know what's in there? Grab the kit, grab an orange juice and bolt. She's like, what are you doing, Jodie?
But then you'd like kick yourself, wouldn't you, if you went back in, close the door, open the kit, and the thing you need is like on the counter or
She
something.
goes, wah, wah. She looks at Kristen and goes, sorry, kid. What?
You're gonna die.
Yeah, what? Have you got any changes, Rhian?
I just didn't. I wasn't really compelled by Jared Leto. I know this. I'm not condoning this, but it was a thought in my head.
Okay.
Shia LaBeouf. But if he wasn't a terrible person.
Yeah, that too. But also 2002, isn't he like a baby?
No. He did Holes in whenever that was.
Maybe, yeah, no, but maybe, actually, no, maybe you're right. Maybe go younger. Maybe have it really be a whiny grandson. Not like Macaulay Culkin in like, oh, really make it Home Alone.
Really
Get the kid from Jerry Maguire. Did you know that the size of a human head?
Get Justin Timberlake as Sean Parker.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah.
Like,
who the fuck are you? I started Napster. No, yeah, but we've got a hostage upstairs. I don't care. I just robbed a house with Sean Parker. Robbed a house with Sean Parker. I should have. Anyway. Yeah.
Robbed a house next to Sean Parker.
Any other changes, Rhian?
Just cut the mallet.
Yeah.
Other than that, I thought.
Or maybe swing with the thing, and then he's like, oh, and then he falls over himself.
Yeah, like he grabs it and then, yeah,
loses his footing. I don't have anything left in my notes. Do you?
I thought the pacing was good. The conflict is the right amount of things arising at different times, and I liked, like you say, they lent into the realism, so that you had these moments where they were trying these outlandish things, and it's like when Chris is like, "What are you doing?" And Jodie's like, "I don't know. I have no idea this is going to work," and it's again that "what would you do" thriller. It's where they just throwing shit at the wall and seeing if it sticks, and then it does, and you're just like celebrating with them.
I love the farty gas when like the other gas panel splits and it's like I've just figured something out. There's something to be said about a really well-made, great movie. But there's also nothing to be said about a really great made movie.
Yeah, I feel like we've devoted roughly 12 minutes to Panic Room all in all, with all of the tangents.
But, as Will says, the tangents are why people are watching. That's not true, because people aren't actually watching. But
the kids love obscure references to things that they didn't click on the video for.
The kids love, what's the most obscure tangent? The kids love Kevin Spacey's performance of Mind Games at a John Lennon tribute concert. A few fun facts.
And if you're wondering what it is, don't watch it.
If you're wondering, add it to your watch later and just leave it there. And you'll be like, yeah, I guess I'll laugh at it like at some point. I'll be like me and watch it frequently and then show people at parties, because that's a way to... I wasn't hitting on you, but that's a way to not be single. Stop showing people Mind Game. Kevin Spacey singing Mind Games. Have you seen Kevin Spacey singing Mind Games?
You mean to say that wasn't a move?
That wasn't, but Disclosure was. Demi Moore's computer. She's in the room. She's in the room. Where are we next? Oh, a few fun facts. According to David Fincher, Kristen Stewart, that wasn't even a gag, everybody. That was completely honest. Kristen Stewart grew more than 3 inches during filming of this project. She was smaller than Jodie Foster when the production started, and towered over her when the final shots were done. It was all filmed in order. I should have said this. They did it like Rear Window, where they basically made the entire house, and obviously through the rain and little like sets, you can make a pretty perfect set, which they did, and they filmed it all in order.
They just get out like, how long have you been in that room?
The shot of Sarah's medical bag sliding along the floor took 103 takes.
Wow.
It was shot over the period of 120 days, the longest shoot in Jodie Foster's career. Because the sets had been designed with Nicole Kidman in mind, who was much taller than Jodie Foster, the green safety lasers on the panic room door ended up exactly at the level of Foster's eyes, constantly blinding her as she entered and exited the room. This is a real tough break for Jodie Foster's height.
Bless her.
David Coate was paid a record $4 million for his screenplay, and in the screenplay it said, "Don't hire that shorty, Jodie." No, I'm kidding. Jodie Foster was pregnant with her second child during filming. Because of this, reshoots had to be made in the autumn of 2001 after she had given birth, as principal photography took longer than planned.
And the weight of her ankles left her shorter by the time they wrapped.
I don't know what to believe here. So Nicole Kidman replacement. Also, this is not how you want to be billed. Nicole Kidman replacement Jodie Foster substantially altered the tone of the film. Beforehand, Fincher saw his heroine as a glacial Hitchcock Grace Kelly role model. With Foster in the lead, however, the part instantly became much more grittier and more political. Is this a more political movie?
Political? I wouldn't say so.
I don't know either.
Is it bad to say I'm more convinced by Jodie playing a divorcee with like a teenage daughter as well?
Despite Nicole being one, well, she's not one of the most famous divorcees. Well, Tom Cruise, that was a big divorce.
That's true. That's very true.
And then she got it back because they were both at this Oscars, because she won for The Hours and Tom Cruise did the 9/11 opening. Musical number. No, he did. He came out and did a speech and like, yeah, no, the world's terrible. But movies are good.
Off.
Movies are good. Yeah, which means everybody has to do their part, including your host. Do. Keep playing those man games.
Okay, so the way I would believe Nicole Kidman as a divorcee is if the opening titles, they just had her running through the street. You've seen those pictures, haven't you? Where she's like
Nicole Kidman running?
No, she's leaving the divorce office and she's like, yeah.
Oh yes, I have seen them. They were very nearly my screensaver. No,
and then instead of crying in the bath, she's just laughing maniacally with wads of her husband's pharmaceutical cash in hand.
And Tom Cruise is Stephen.
Yes.
That's one of my probably my favorite Kubrick movie is Eyes Wide Shut, and it's mainly because it's Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman figuring out some things, and the multiple scenes where Nicole Kidman talks about graphic sexual dreams she was having with other men in front of her then husband Tom Cruise. And I know it's acting, and I know it's a script, but that's a tough. That must be tough, because also Kubrick's another take whore. And he's just like, yeah, keep going. And so I'm like, again, I know it's acting, but there's only so many times you can hear the line, there were so many men, and they were all fucking me. I
mean, he could have just like drifted over to the craft service table. He didn't.
Oh no, because he's holding her in the scene.
Okay.
Then,
I thought he was off set. Oh, he's on set off screen.
And then it says, and they were all fucking me. And then she's like, and he's like, oh, it's okay. And then she keeps going, and she was like, and I loved it.
You can stop now. It's fine.
And I loved it. And if I could just have one night, the first one's the worst one. And if I could just have one night with him, I'd give up you and I'd give up the kids. I love Eyes Wide Shut. Great movie. Nicole does some great high acting in that, where she's smoked a joint. And she's like, ha, 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 ha. And the whole movie kicks off because they've smoked a joint. And basically Tom Cruise is like, yeah, no, women don't have as strong sex drive as men. And she's like, if you men only knew. And she does this whole rant, and it's just marvelous. And she talks about, because he's a doctor and like a gynecologist. And she has this incredible line where she goes, and you don't think that they're thinking about little Dr. Bill's penis when you're doing the titties. She does this high, squeaky voice. And I can only believe that the note in the screenplay must have been, as an errant elf or something like that.
The frequency only dogs can hear.
Little Dr. Bill with the little titties. Great movie. Panic Room, 2002. The 2002 after the 9/11 Oscars was also when they brought Woody back to do a tribute to New York, and that was the first time he was ever at the Oscars because he didn't believe in awards. Panic Room. Tagline rundown. What do you do when your hiding place is their destination? Good. Again.
Solid.
Solid.
Yeah.
This is, if we're going to describe this movie, it's solid. It was supposed to be the safest room in the house. Right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's still pretty good.
It's really solid movie. That's all you can say, really.
One room, 2 panics.
Thank God the tagline wasn't "Don't panic."
I think we should create a new segment called "Create
Worst
the worst tagline you can."
I think "Don't panic" would be close.
Yeah.
Maybe two children are trapped in a room. Oh wait, that's not 2 children. That's Jodie Foster, famous short woman, and Nicole Kidman replacement. Did you know that Nicole? It just keeps going. Did you know that Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise? Have you seen that picture where Nicole Kidman leaves the divorce office?
Tom, the DVD disc over. Jesus.
It keeps going. Tom's big question. No signal in the panic room? To me, that feels like a bad feature of a panic room.
Well, they mentioned how the phone is a different line, but then you always also wonder why is it a different line? Is it in case the other line gets cut, so it's like a separate? I feel like there should be 2. There should be 2 phones.
2 phones, and
One
how
is
can the
hooked up and then a
robbers?
separate one.
How can the robbers take advantage of there being signal in the panic room?
Well,
there's just
I mean, no, they can't.
Exactly, that's what I mean. So why not just have signal in the panic room?
Yeah,
because there needs to be a movie.
Sense, but then it's like a steel trap.
Yeah,
there needs to be a
film. Junior. Oh well, no, I've answered my own question because we find out that there's no tapes in the cameras anyway. So ignore me.
Yeah.
I
wondered though, you know, it's not a completely new house. So surely everything in the room would be set up and wouldn't need Jodie's IT course.
No, but you would need to set up your own passwords.
Yeah, but then surely hooking up the phone and things.
Give the woman a rest. She needed a bath and she needed some Chateau Neuf de Pape that night. She did not need.
Oh no, that's what I mean. Like, why was that on her to do all that again? When, you know, the house had a previous tenant.
Yeah, but I don't know. Give her a night. Give her a night off. That's tomorrow's job. And the final question: what's the better movie where a mother yells, "Give my daughter the shot"? Is it this or is it Terms of Endearment? The correct answer is Terms of Endearment. Have you seen Terms of Endearment, Rhian?
I haven't. No.
It's a top 10. And that's it for Panic Room.
For the curious case of Kevin Spacey eyes wide shut disclosure.
Disclosure. The 2002 Oscars.
Shark Tale.
Shark Tale. A real Amazon delivery. Oh, and this one's got a booklet. I'm so.
He's in for a great weekend, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm in for a great weekend with, oh my God, 2 Sandy Dennis movies.
Why are you acting like you didn't buy them?
I know, but
oh my goodness!
No, I order a lot and then I forget what's coming. Oh, so it's always like a little surprise. It's like,
that's cute.
It's like, it's disclosure.
Like a title from 1984 that roughly a dozen people have seen.
I'll let you know.
Have liked.
I'll let you know that Buffalo Bill and the Indians, or Sitting Bull's History Lesson, a Robert Altman film, came out in 1976.
Even better.
Paul Newman. Don't you just wish you were Paul Newman? Okay, you can be one actor, actress ever. And you live their entire life. So if you're Nicole Kidman, you have to have terrible years with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Because I think I'd be Paul Newman. A, you're the most handsome man alive. B, you're a great actor. C, you fall in love with Joanne Woodward and you stay married for 50 years. And you're a race car driver. I'm not a car guy, but if I was good at it, I'm sure I'd get into it. I just don't think you're getting much better than Paul Newman. And you win an Oscar.
True enough. See, my gut said Leonardo DiCaprio, but then I'd have to be short.
Oh, I think you'd get over it. I think he's fine with being short.
I mean, I've got an abundance of 25-year-olds fawning over me at any given moment in my life.
Okay.
So...
Yeah. I'll do Leo's life, and then I'll Benjamin Button, and I'll do Paul Newman's life. I know that's not how Benjamin Button works, but oh, it's raining. The snow will fade now. And that's the end of our panic room.
And he's wearing reading glasses to show the time has passed.
He's got a beard. Multiple Ben Affleck movies end with him on a sunset looking out and going, I'm not an alcoholic anymore. I'm great. I'm not smoking crack. Like in The Town. Great movie. Rhian, any final thoughts on Panic Room?
I'm not fully convinced that I've seen it at this point. We've made so many trips.
Any final thoughts on Castaway?
So many.
Next week is, I dare say, not even next week. Next episode is Zodiac, which he's made multiple masterpieces, but it may just be his most masterpiece, which is a conversation we'll have. It may be his best film. It may just be his best film, and it may just be one of the finest films ever made.
And guess who's coming back for that episode?
Will.
Yeah.
Oh, and you, yes, and
me. Because the kids love the token woman.
Kids do love a token woman. Is the best character name ever in a comedy show in South Park where they name the black kid Token? Is that just the funniest joke ever? South Park's incredible. It's just an
Don't agree.
It's a great joke. But it's a referencing joke.
It's not for you to say.
It's not for me to say. What's that from? That's a song, and it's in a. It's not for me to say. Oh, that's going to drive me mad. It's not for me to say. Right, we're going to do this live.
Nothing left to say.
It's right.
The winner takes it all.
It's not for me to say is a song.
For the folks at home, I have a 4-minute rendition of The Winner Takes It All from Thomas Carruthers.
Oh, I mean,
a blanket shawl. Doing all of Meryl Streep's choreography.
Their minds as cold as. Oh, it's the double. It's. Oh my God! What a twist of fate! It's in Goodfellas. That's what I'm thinking of. It's also in Zodiac.
Incredible! Your mind. It's absolute sludge, but occasionally
it'll pull out
a
Johnny Mathis song. Auf Wiedersehen, Rhian.
Dabba 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 da da ba 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 ba.